Guys, so today we're going to talk about one of the questions we get a lot when we are dealing with prospective sellers who are thinking about getting their house on the market. They want to know, besides commission, like I get that I'm going to have to pay a commission, but what other fees am I going to be responsible for in terms of getting this house sold? So obviously commission is the biggest one. And any professional agent that you sit down with should be able to do what's called a seller's net, where they're going to show you exactly what the cost is going to be for you as a seller in terms of the offer that you're looking at or just the broad, seller fees that could be out.
Keyword there is professional. I can't tell you how many listing appointments we go to. And we can't advise anybody until we get agreements and all that legal stuff, but we can at least help them understand the numbers. Right. And so, yeah, we've done the commission one, right? We've watched that one if you want to really learn about commission. But what you need to know are all the governmental tax and stuff like that. Yeah. So let's lead into the first one. Attorney's fees. People always ask that, why do I have to pay attorney's fees?
Yeah, so as a seller, we're an attorney state here in South Carolina, so you have to close with an attorney, right? The buyer usually picks the closing attorney because they're doing the bulk of the work for the buyer. Mm-hmm. But the attorney is doing a little bit of work for you as the seller. They're gonna, send your payoff to your mortgage company if you have one. They're gonna get the deed out of your name and put it into the buyer's name and make sure that everything is buttoned up there. So the most I've really ever seen, an attorney charge a seller is around $300 to $400, but that's with the understanding that you don't need a mail away or you don't need a power of attorney. So, you've got your commission, then you've got, budget about $300 to $400 for an attorney. Then you have something called deed stamps. Yeah. It's a tax to sell your house. It's about $3.70 per thousand. Right? Nothing we can do about that. Pretty straightforward math.
Yeah, it's cool though, because if you really pull old deeds, you can see literally it was like a stamp and they lick it and stick it on there being like, they paid $1, so they would record it. And so now they still call them deed stamps, but it's literally just a machine that does it. But it's a transfer tax straight up. And that's actually, as a side note, that goes actually to fund low income housing initiatives in the state. So hey, how about that? This is good news.
So yeah, as a seller, you've got your commission, you've got your attorney fees, you've got your deed stamps, and then you've got prorated taxes, right? Mm-hmm. So tax bills come out at the end of the year. So depending on what time of the year you close, the attorney's going to either look at the tax bill that's already out, or he's going to look at last year's tax bill, and he's going to make a proration so that seller, you can make the buyer whole because they're going to get the tax bill at the end of the year.
All right, I'm going to try and explain this, and I usually botch it one way or the other, but because it makes sense in my head. So taxes are paid in arrear. So you're paying, I just paid 2018 taxes in 2019. I just paid for last year. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's due every January. Come hell or high water, taxes are gonna be due. Yeah. So that's why it can be prorated. Now your insurance usually is due 12 months from the date you bought it. Right. So you don't have to prorate the buyer on their taxes because they're gonna get their own taxes and everything else. But the reason I want to talk about this is the escrow part. So majority of people have an escrow with their mortgage company. Right. So you pay your monthly payment and interest to them, but they also take a little bit of money, 1/12 of your taxes and 1/12 of your insurance, and they hold that in a pot called an escrow account, which I call like a savings account. You can't have it. And they pay those bills for you when they come up. So if you were gonna close on June 30th, the middle of the year, you're gonna pay the buyer for your half of the taxes.
January 1 through June 30th.
Yeah, you gotta pay for while you live there. And then they're gonna get the bill at the end and pay for the whole bill, which includes half the money you've already given them. But a lot of people don't realize is within, I think it's 45 days, there's a federal mandate that you have to get that money back from your escrow account. So by the time you forget that you actually had this money in escrow account, you're gonna get it back. So it's kind of a wash because you've been putting it in there. You had to give the buyer extra money because you had to close that day, and you're gonna get it back. So a lot of people don't understand that either. So yes, you have to pay for your prorations, but you kind of do get it back.
And the last thing is if you have any outstanding liens, if you have a second mortgage, your first mortgage, you owe a contractor some money, you've got an HOA bill.
What was the tax initiatives they did back in like 08 or 09 if you haven't sold since then? Mm-hmm. Like you might have to pay back some money that you got from...
Right. So any outstanding lien you still have would also be part of that seller's net.
Absolutely. So that's what you should be able to look at. We always provide those for our clients. Once we finalize pricing, we give them that. And we give it to them every time we actually get an offer. So that way we take this 10-page contract and dilute it down to numbers. So you can see what you're walking away with. Because at the end of the day, you just want to know what you're going to make. So typically not too much money on the all. But yeah, you should know. So if you want an accurate one, just give us a call. We'll come out, look at your house, give you a price, give your seller's net, see if it's something you want to do. So as always, follow us on social media, follow us our blog, because we put these out via our blog and really a lot of useful information. Even if you're not really looking at selling or buying anytime soon, we have a lot of stuff about home maintenance and what's going on in the communities and restaurants and everything else. So thanks for watching.